Hi students, welcome back to our last part of questions for chapter 4.4 yeah. So today I'll be doing part 4. For this video, I'll be doing part 4 questions and they are super duper tough. As I mentioned quite a few times already, okay? Because the type of question is designed in a way for high order thinking skills lah. Or it might be high order thinking skills for someone who hasn't seen it before. But for you, since I've included it into worksheet, it's no longer a high order thinking skill question because I want you to know how to do it right after this. And what are the approach I would think, right? When I solve questions like this, assuming I haven't done questions like this before. So it's very important, okay? Firstly, I want you to try to think with me, along with me, see whether you will think the same thing in the exam or not. Okay, then I'll show you the solution. All right, so for number 1 is I will solve for A, okay? I'll solve A, and then I'll solve 2, 3, 4. Okay? So we solve number 1 first. Okay, number 1, they gave you this thing. They gave you 2 to the power of x. Wait, let me go to the next page. Number 1, okay? They gave you 2 to the power of x is equals to 5 to the power of y is equals to 10 to the power of z. Am I right? Yeah, the question is this. Express x in terms of y and z. Express x in terms of y and z. Okay, what do they mean? It means now they have given you questions like this. They've given you this condition already. Now they want you to express x in terms of y and z. Means they want you to have x is how many y, how many z. Basically, on the left hand side, you want to have only x. On the right hand side, you can have y, you can have z, or you can have both. You get what I mean? So that is the idea of solving this question. Okay, so first of all, when I see this question, right, if I were to not encounter this question before, right, what I would think is that, oh, other than the x, y, z, what I realize is that 2 times 5 gives me 10. In fact, you have to use that trick later. Okay, so I realized that 2 times 5 gives me 10. Okay, so but how can I use a way to apply this thing? How can I apply this thing? And after I teach you today, I want you to know, okay, how to do it. I think there are more than one method to solve this question, but I'll be introducing the method that I first thought of when I see this question. Okay, then you can also tell me what methods you use actually in the description box below. All right, no problem. Maybe there are other methods. I'll think of it later. Okay, so first of all, what I thought of it is 2 times 5 can give me 10. So how can I do about it? So you realize that if you remember well, right? If we have log, just say we have log, okay? Log base, just say anything, log base m lah. Log base m of 10. I can actually split it to log base m of 5 times 2. I can split it to log base m of 5 plus log base m of 2. You see, this is another thing that I thought of, because I know that 10 equals to 5 times 2. So I can use the log. Somehow I use log because we learn log. So I somehow thought of this also. So there are 2 things I thought about. So is there another thing I can think of to include the x, y, and z? The answer is, I'll show you the answer straight away. I'll show you what is the solution, what to do, okay? So since I've thought of that already, now we slowly move into it, then you can slowly see the picture nicely. So what I'll do is, you see, what I'll do is now, okay, I've got to, because there are 3 things here equal to each other. So I want to bring it out individually. I let 2x is equals to m. Okay, since 2x is equals to 5y, so therefore I can say 5y is equals to m also. And then since 10z is equals to both of these 2, I can say 10 power of z is equals to m also. Okay, so now once I have m, that's the first step I do. Why I want to introduce m? Because I can solve them individually later. Then I can do what I want to do. Okay, so once I've left them individually, what do I want to do now? The logical thing to do in this chapter is to do log both sides, right? But what do you log with? Do you log base 2 or do you log with log base m, both sides? And log base m here. What do you do? What do you log base with? Okay, normally in this chapter, right, we have a general rule. We want the base to be same. Okay, we want the base to be same. And since everything has m here, right? Everything has m here. Everything has m. Okay, you look at equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. 3 of them also have m. So it's better I express 3 of them as log base m. So I log base m both sides. Log base m of 2x is equals to log base m of m. Okay, therefore what I'll get is I will have log base, I bring the x down, okay? X log base m2 is equals to 1. Why? Because log m will give you 1. Okay, so that's what I did. Okay, at least I've improvement now. I see this now. At least I see this now. Maybe I can do something about it once I found others. Okay, so I continue. Log base m of 5y is equals to log base m of m. So what I'll get is I will get y. I shift forward. I will have y log base m of 5 is equals to log as usual is 1. You see now, I'm getting something that is quite beautiful, you know. I've like a general form, everything is in log base m. That's a good thing. Secondly, everything is equals to 1, you know. So it's very nice. And then x is multiplying the log and y is multiplying the log. So when multiplying, right, it's easier for you to shift everything if you want to manipulate no matter what. Whereas when it's on top here, right, when it's on top here, it's very hard to shift because it's in a power level. It's very hard to manipulate. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's quite nice, really. Let's do for z first. Log base m of 10z is equals to log base m of m. So what I'll get is I'll get z bring forward as usual. Z log base m of 10 is equals to what? Is equals to 1 because log m is equals to 1. Okay, so now I will rewrite these three things. I'll try to rewrite these three things here. I'll try to rewrite x log m2 equals to 1, y log m5 is equals to 1, z log m10 equals to 1. Okay, so now, since I know just now, right, I told you guys, I can actually express log m10 as log m5 times 2, which is also equals to log m5 plus log m2. You see very magically, right? Can I get log m10? Yes, I can. Why can I get? Because this is log m10, this is log m10. Okay, can I get log m5? Can, because this is log m5. Can I get what is log m2? Can. I can get log m2. What I just have got to do is I've got to remove this x over, remove this y over, remove this z over. Then I have these three things ready. Then I can substitute inside. You get what I mean? That's the main goal for this question. That's the idea for this question. So what I want you to do is you see this one, right? I can manipulate it to be like this. Okay, so what is log m2? Why I want to find log m2? Because I want to substitute inside this thing. You understand what I mean? Okay, so what is log m2 is equals to, you bring x over for division, or you divide x both sides. Okay, divide x here, divide x here. What you get is you get 1 over x, okay? Because it's multiplication, don't forget, the x in front is multiplication. Okay? Don't forget, when you have x in front of log, it's like multiplication. Then now this one, you have log m5. Why I want to find log m5? Because I have log m5 here. So it's equals to 1 over y as usual, same thing. Then what is log m10? You bring z over 1 over z. So beautiful. Now I have these three things isolated, and all these three are in base m. Okay? And I have 2, 5, and 10, which are nice numbers because 2 times 5 equals to 10. Okay? Then I work this out already. Now what do I do? So you have log base m10, log base m10 is 1 over z. You substitute, okay? It's equals to log base m5, which is 1 over y, plus log base m2, which is 1 over x. Okay, beautiful. Now I have all in terms of x, y, and z. So actually, I kind of solved the answer already. But the question wants us to solve in terms express x in terms of y and z. Means I want x on the left and yz on the right. So to do that, I leave x. I leave 1 over x. You see whether you understand or not? 1 over x equals to 1 over z minus 1 over y. Okay, basically I just shift this 1 over y to the left. So I've isolated this x, 1 over x basically. Then I just switch the position left and right. Okay, then I got this. So what I want to do, okay, there's one mistake that people tend to make again. Mistake people always make is, people say, oh, like that, my teacher taught me I can flip. So I flip this one, I flip this two also. So I get x is equals to z minus y. After I flip, x over 1 equals to z over 1 minus y over 1. Is this correct? Wrong. Okay, wrong. This is wrong. Okay, why? I told you why. I tell you why. You want to flip, right? You can flip, but you must make sure left hand side Wait a minute. You want to flip, right? You can flip, but you must make sure there's one fraction on the left and there's one fraction on the right. One fraction. Okay, only you can flip, but there are two fractions here. So what do I do is I try to combine the fraction first. So I equate the denominator, zy, so it's y minus z. I hope you know how to do this one. This one, if you do not know, then you try to, it's not a problem about log and indices really. You try to get your basics brushed up first. And if you all need me to touch up on this basic stuff, right, you all always can tell me in the comment section below. I try to touch up because I don't want to waste too much time in chapters like this, right, to explain on stuff like this. You get what I mean? I'd rather do it in another video, specially made tailor-made for you guys who need it. Okay? So what I have now is, okay, one fraction on the left, one fraction on the right. What I do is I can flip the position. 1 over x, I want the x to be on top. So I get x over 1. X over 1 is basically x log, which is what we want to find, which is what we want to express. Okay, so I've expressed x over 1 equals to zy over y minus z. So now I can say that x is equal to zy over y minus z. This is the answer. Okay, this is the answer. You understand? So this is actually what you say, expressing x in terms of y and z. X is on the left. The only x is on the left. Basically, x is a subject when you say you want to express x. So x is the subject. Then the rest is on the right. Y, z, you don't want to you want to throw it on the right. So this is the question. You can take a look and try to learn everything, visualize all the steps already, then try to solve it yourself without looking at it. That's a goal for if you can do it lah. All right. So we try to solve number 2 now. Right. So we move on to question 2. Question 2, right? It's quite a simple question, but you have to use one trick later on. Okay. So they say given that a squared plus b squared is equal to 6ab. Okay. When I change the color of pen first. They ask you to show this thing is equals to this thing. So when you want to show, right, don't forget you start from left hand side or start from you start from left hand side. You prove blah 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 until you obtain exactly the same. Then you say it's equals to right hand side. You understand? So you make a statement after that. Since left hand side, or you don't have to write a statement for this one. You just say you just write a shown here. Once you proved left hand side is equal to right hand side, you just write a shown here. Okay, that is quite simple. So I'm going to prove to you now. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so you start from left hand side. You have 2 log base 2a plus b is equals to what? Is equals to the only thing I can think of is bring this bracket, this brings square up because that's the only thing I can do. So log base 2a plus b squared. So what you do is the only thing I can do after this is also to expand inside. I can expand inside, okay, because these two belong this square. So it's log base 2a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. You should know how to expand this a plus b squared. You should know how to expand is a squared plus 2 times this one, which is 2ab plus b squared. It is not equals to a squared plus b squared. This is wrong, okay? Many people make this mistake. Okay, once you have this one, right, then you know that when the content of the log is no, you cannot do anything. Okay, so now what you do is you have a squared plus b squared. You see or not? You have a squared plus b squared. You understand? What is a squared plus b squared based on this substitution that they gave you above? It's 6ab. So you substitute inside. Log 2, a squared plus b squared gives you 6ab plus this one remains here, 2ab. Easy, yeah? So it's equals to log base 2 of 8ab. Okay? So now I'm trying to make this one into something like this one because we want to prove left hand side is equals to right hand side. So what we do, we try to break it up. Becomes log 2a plus log 2a plus log 2b. Okay, so we are getting similar to this one already. You understand? But just that this 3 we have to make this 3 up. Actually, this one is actually 3. If you learn the way I teach you to interpret, right? Actually, I don't use this color, it's ugly. Actually, log 2.8, right, is basically asking yourself a question. 2 to the power of what will give you 8? The answer is 3. Or you want to make it simpler, right? What you can do is log base 2, and you know that 8 is actually 2 to the power of 3. 3 bring forward, you have 3 log base 2, 2. What is log base 2, 2? You know that when these two numbers are same, you have 1. Okay, so the answer is 3, which is same, okay? Then you have plus log 2a plus log 2b. So this is now exactly same as the right-hand side. Therefore, I write equals to right-hand side. Remember the working, how I write? Okay. Actually, I should write one left-hand side here. Left-hand side is equals to this, is equals to this, equals to blah, 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 blah. Then I manage to prove is equals to the right-hand side. So you have proven that left-hand side equals to right-hand side. So it's shown. Okay, because they ask you to show that this one equals to this one. You started from the left-hand side and then you ended up with the right-hand side. So you in fact shown it. So you write a shown at the back. And this is for question 2. Understood? Very easy, huh? Okay, number 3. Let's take blue color. Okay, so number 3, how do you solve this question? They have given you this thing and this thing. Find log ax and log ay. Basically, when I see their when they ask us to solve like this, right? I should know they're asking us to solve simultaneous equation. Okay, this is a simultaneous type of equation, type of question. So what do I do is, right, they gave me log a times x, log axy is equals to 2. And they have given me also log ax squared y cubed is equals to 3. What you want to do when you want to solve simultaneous equation is to expand everything, is to break everything up. Okay, to separate everything. So from this one, right, what I get is I get log ax plus log ay equals to 2. Okay, for this one, what I get is I'll get, okay, you see, first of all, I separate them into log log ax squared plus log ay squared, y cubed. Then I bring it forward. Okay, 2 log ax plus 3 log ay. Okay, so if you are watching this video, I assume you actually have watched all the other videos already before this, so that whatever I do now, the shortcut, you can actually know what I mean already. When the power breakdown, all these things I repeat so many times already. Okay, so actually, this one is from this one I derived from here, from this thing. Okay. So what I get is I just write the simplified version here. I'll get 2 log ax plus 3 log ay equals to what? 3. Okay. So now I have these two equations, equation 1, equation 2. All right. So what I do now is, right, I rewrite the equation here. Log ax plus log ay equals to 2, equation 1. 2 log ax plus 3 log ay is equals to 3. This is equation number 2, because it's the second equation. Because there are two unknowns you are trying to solve, Okay, so whenever you solve question like this, right, I told you before, right, log as, think of it as one family. It is like one unknown. It's like A. It's like B. You understand what I mean? It's one family, okay? So you don't think of it as oh, this is log A times X. No, it's wrong. It's one whole thing by itself, one whole thing by itself, one whole thing by itself, one whole thing by itself. It's just that this whole thing is same as this whole thing. This whole thing is same as this whole thing. You understand? So what you can do is, right, is about solving simultaneous equation. Okay? Some people would prefer, right? Some people would prefer to let log ax equals to m and log ay equals to maybe m n n. Okay. Then you substitute. Once you substitute m, log ax is m1. So I put m plus log ay is n equals to 2, 1. Then after that, 2 times log ax is actually m plus 3 times log ay is n equals to 3, is equation 2. So many people prefer to solve like this. Okay, so if you like to, you are the one that prefer to see m and n instead of this kind of things, you can do this. In fact, actually, I encourage you to do this method so that you substitute so that you see clearly. So what I do now is I do normal simultaneous equation. I take 1 times 2. Why 1 times 2? Because this coefficient is 1. I want to make it, I times 2 the whole equation. It will make it 2, 2, and then times 2 here. So what will happen is that once I minus equation 1 and equation 2 later, this 2m minus 2m will give me 0. So I've eliminated m. So once I've eliminated m, I can solve for n. Okay, this is the idea of simultaneous equation. I rush it through very fast because this is another chapter lah. So 1 times 2 will give me 2m plus 2n equals to 4. Okay, I times 2 basically on the left and times 2 on the right hand side. This I label equation 3. So as I said, I times this 2 so that it's same as this 2. So now what I do, I can take equation 2 minus equation 3 straight away. So this one minus this one will give me 0 plus 3n minus 2n will give me 1n equals to 3 minus 4 will give me minus 1. So n is equals to minus 1 because 1n is actually n only lah. This is very simple. So once you have found n in simultaneous equation, a lot of people will just stop here. They forgot, oh, I solved for n already, then they stop. No, simultaneous equation, right? You have got to solve for n and then you got to solve for m. Don't forget your m, okay? So how to find your m is you substitute what you have found, n equals to minus 1 into either one of the equation. First equation looks simple to me, so I put equation 1. So what I do is, you know that equation 1 is n plus m plus n equals to 2. So since I found n is negative 1, I substitute n as negative 1. Minus 1 equals to 2. I just basically substitute, okay? So m, you plus 1 both sides, you get 2 plus 1. M equals to 3. So I found the answer already. So whenever you write like this, right, at the end, right, you don't write in terms of n and m. Whenever you want to substitute, right, like substitution, for this kind, we substitute with n and m, right, we substitute log ax with m, we substituted log ay with n. Whenever you substitute, right, don't forget to substitute back at the end. By what I mean, right, for example, n you get equals to negative 1, right? So I want you to think back, okay, if n equals to negative 1, means n is actually your log ay. So log ay is equals to negative 1, okay? And then bottom, similarly, m is actually log ax, okay? Where is it? M is actually log ax. So what I do is, I replace m with log ax. Now I resubstitute back. Log ax equals to 3. So I've gotten these two answers. So see whether you're answering the question or not. Go back to the question. Are you answering the question? They ask you to find values of log ax and log ay, which is correct. Log ax you have found, log ay you have found. Okay, but in the middle you might have m and n, doesn't matter. Okay, so you have found log x and log ay. Then now what they ask you to find? Find the values of x and y when a equals to 2. This is the second part of the question. This is the first part of the question. Now we move to the second part. Okay, there's no 2. So we move second part. So when a is equals to 2, right? Or you know what? I'll just write below here. When a is equals to 2, I use red color like there's a new part of the question. A equals to 2. So you have log 2x equals to 3. Basically, what this means is 2 to the power of 3 will give me x. You understand? I told you, right, to think of it. 2 to the power of this thing will give me x. Or in other words, you just basically change it back to index form. So how do you change it back to index form? Remember I told you 2 is the base. The answer is always the power. So you have power here equals to what? Equals to x. So you have found x is equals to 2 power 3 is equals to 8. Okay, similarly for this one, what you have to do is, you know that this is going to be base 2, correct enough? Because they say a equals to 2, so I should put 2 there, save some space. So what I know, I change it back to index form. I know the base 2 to the power of -1, because I know the answer is always power. I repeat many times already, equals to y. So y is equals to 2 power -1 or 1 over 2. Don't forget, if you do not know how I get 2 power -1, if you do not know why I get half, refer to my previous videos for it. Refer to my video 1. So I've gotten x and y. These are my answers. Okay, it might be a very, very, very long question. It might be like 8 marks. Yeah, you see, it's 8 marks. So if you know how to do, right, it's very, very simple, you know. You get what I mean? For this question, it's actually very simple if you recognize the pattern of it. Once I read the question, right, I still already know the pattern is this. I want you to be as good as me. No, I don't want you to be as good as me. I want you to be better than me. Once you look at the question, you can immediately know, oh, simultaneous equation. Or this one is the top type question. Or this show question, if I cannot work downwards, I work backwards to get the answer. Or if it is this kind of question, what I do is, I know the technique already, the steps, what I need to do. I want you to have the reservoir of knowledge in your mind, right? Where once you look at the type of question, you straight away can export the file from your brain and then throw it into your paper. I want it to work like that. You get what I mean now? Until you are that good, only you can start to create knowledge, you know. Which I believe all of you can do it lah. I don't know whether I'll explain too fast or not for today's video. But if I were to be too fast, you just let me know in the comment section below which part you're not getting it, so I can do like a specific video for individual questions, you know. Because as you see, most YouTubers also, right, they what they'll do is they will explain one question in detail. But I compiled many of them that are hard for you. But There's also disadvantage lah. Means I will not explain as detailed. But I think I've explained quite detailed for everything already. Enough for you to understand well. So what you've got to do is to understand the working, how this leads to the next step, how the next step leads to the third step, how the third step leads to the fourth step. If you can logically organize clearly everything, right? Once you do back the question, oh, super easy. It's like you are like flowing, you know, like a water flowing in a pipe without non-stop one. You want to stop also cannot stop. Okay. Okay. So for question 4, right? Actually, I won't discuss question 4. Why I don't want to discuss question 4? Because question 4 is actually similar to question 3. And I want to give you a question of similar kind to try yourself. That's why I won't do question 4 first. But that doesn't mean I will not discuss. Maybe I'll discuss in another video. But I want you to try question 4 by yourself. And then if you can, forward the working to me. Okay, if you have done, you just comment in the comment section below. Then I will try to ask for your working. You get what I mean? Because question 4 is similar to question 3. But question 4 is an extra question. You just got to show this thing. Can you see? It's very easy to show. I give you a hint is that you see, this is base 4, this is base 2. So you know you've got to convert base later. And this is actually C over D. So you try to break it up first. You try to separate this log into log base 4C minus log base 4D. Then you change base. Then you manipulate, you get this one. It's very easy to show this one, very easy. And then hence, find the values of x and y that satisfy the equation. This one equals to 1 over 4. So you know that this one is actually same as this one. And this one equals to half times this thing in a bracket. So what you do is that you can substitute this thing with this thing lah, because they're equal one. Okay? Then when you have this, and you have this, they've given you this one, you know what, when they give you 2 equations, right, you know you have to solve simultaneous equation already. I'm very sensitive to it. Okay? You try to solve simultaneous equation. I want you to have observation now. Look at my previous question. When I solve the simultaneous equation, right? The 2 is in front here, or is it in the power form? I want you to notice all these things, so that when you solve simultaneous equation next time, for log, you know. Oh, you know the 2 must be in front, you know the 3 must be in front. Yeah, so in fact, it must be in front, okay? So what you do is, you try to make it in front also for this question number 4. You do the same thing. Okay, it is already in front, so you don't have to do anything. So you try to manipulate this one until you get some format like this. Then you do the simultaneous equation. Do you understand what I mean? I purposely wouldn't want to solve this question. I want to leave it to you to solve this question. Okay? Maybe you can let this one as M, let this one as N. Then you solve like how I solved number 3. All right. So actually, that's all for the whole chapter for indices and logarithm. It's just something like this. Okay. This part I did not include on questions on certs. The new syllabus certs. I will teach certs and the questions for it in 4.2, which I'll upload maybe tomorrow. Okay, so I want you to understand every single question. If you still have any question for the discussed questions here, you can always come to me. You can text me, you can comment in the section below. Okay, so with that, actually, I wrap up the whole chapter already. I wrap up the whole chapter, and if you have followed me until now, give a great motivation to yourself. If you can finish this one, there's nothing in Add Math that is hard, because many people find logarithm to be hard. So if you can complete this chapter with me and you can solve all the questions right after you learn with me, you can do literally anything in Add Math. You just have to trust me. Okay? You don't be scared of K-bar. Many people are scared of use K-bar as an excuse when they don't even know how to solve basic questions like this. You get what I mean? So until you are good enough, only you can judge, oh, this is a really K-bar question. Only you judge. You understand? If you are not doing your part as a student to study and you are just giving excuses, oh, I cannot do math because a lot of K-bar now, 2019, a lot of K-bar I cannot do. Then you are not fulfilling responsibility as a student. You get what I mean? It doesn't matter if they give K-bar even then, because K-bar, everyone will get the same set of questions. You get what I mean? So if everyone get the same K-bar, it's fair. There's no such thing as saying, oh, K-bar means I don't want to do the paper, I'm scared of the paper. No such thing, it's all bull crap, okay? So what I want you to know is, checklist for yourself to know is go back. Once you have seen all the questions already, there are some questions maybe you're not so clear of, highlight them down, write down the working that I've taught you, see whether you understand every step of the working or not. If you don't understand, ask me. Okay? And if you understand, I want you to try to remember, try to comment in the comment section below. Out of all the exercises, right, how many different types of questions did we do? Okay, calculate, try to do the exercise I give you. How many types of question did I do? Types of question now, I didn't say question now. How many types of question? Comment down in the comment section below. Then we see the viewers have different thoughts or not. Okay, so once you have included down there, at least, for example, if I know I did like 14 types of questions, at least when I say 14 types, right, I can tell myself, oh, there are 14 types. Oh, this is the first, second, third type. This is the fourth, fifth type. You have like a fall in your brain, of all the different types of question. It's like all the essence of the whole questions bank is in your head, because there are how many different types already. And that is what you're supposed to do as students. Find ways to help yourself study better. Okay, I've talked too much already. Later you get bored. So I don't want to talk too much already. That's all for this chapter, okay? The next chapter, I haven't decided on what I want to do yet, but maybe differentiation. I will skip the chapters according to difficulties, because I'll do the ones that are difficult, that people are struggling first. Okay, so if there's any specific chapters you want me to go through or any specific questions, you can always comment down below. All right, and try to spread this to as many friends as possible, because I think I'm creating value for y'all. Therefore, y'all should appreciate this channel and share to more people so that they can get the value as well. All right, don't be selfish. Studies, never be selfish. Share your knowledge. All right, with that, thanks for accompanying me through this 1 week of producing this video. Okay, with that said, I actually want to end this video, and you did a great job surviving until now. Keep it up, and you will get 90s and above. I trust you. See you. Goodbye.